Welcome to my course, Beginning .NET Core Programming with MVC, Razor Pages, API, Blazor, Azure, and .NET Core Identity. As the title of the course suggests, this is a course for beginners who want to start web development with ASP.NET Core. But .NET Core Framework is a vast and complex environment with many different technologies. The goal of this course is to get you started with several of these technologies. Throughout the course, we will create a simple database-driven project using several different ASP.NET Core technologies. We'll use MVC pattern, Web API, and API client that will consume the API, then Razor Pages, Blazor, and also Azure. Each project will use Entity Framework Core for database access. We will use local server installed with Visual Studio, but also in the last project we will create and deploy Azure SQL database as well as the web app that we created. Throughout the course, we'll be using the well-known Northwind database. I will show you how to install it on your local server and later on Azure. The structure of this course is different than what you might be familiar with. We will create the exact same project with each of the technologies. That's because the goal of this course isn't to integrate all the technologies into one project, but to give you a good overview of the strengths and weaknesses of each approach. And that is best accomplished by creating the same project with each individual technology, because that allows you to compare how each of these technologies works side by side. But wouldn't creating the same project over and over be quite a boring experience? Well, I promise it won't be. Even though the project remains the same for each of the technologies, I packed each implementation with different ways of doing things. For example, we'll be using different approach to CRUD operations. In one project, we'll use link queries, in another, we'll use SQL statements, we'll use SQL stored procedures, and also SQL Client Object Model. We will also implement repository pattern and add .NET Core Identity to each implementation of the project. We will use local server, but also Azure SQL database. And of course, each technology requires a different approach with different structure for the whole application. So no, it will not be boring, quite the opposite. So why take my course? You see, a typical ASP.NET Core course shows you a lot of different concepts by building a single big project. You start with empty template, and several hours later you have a finished project with a lot of advanced concepts and technologies. And for some students, this works okay. But a typical beginner usually gets lost halfway, as the sheer amount of concepts and technologies presented in such a course is way too overwhelming. You find yourself mindlessly coding along the instructor, only to realize at the end that you don't remember any of the concepts presented at the earlier lessons. Well, like I said, the structure of my course is very different. My goal is not to only present the concepts, but also to reinforce them throughout the course. This course is all about .NET Core technologies. This way, we can truly concentrate on mastering the ASP.NET Core framework and concepts. So by the end of the course, not only you will remember all the essential knowledge and skills, but you will also understand and remember the more advanced ones, as they are introduced slowly, thoughtfully, and in a step-by-step way. So get excited to learn a lot of new material and dive into the world of .NET Core. See you in the course. Let's code!